We need to talk about Bryan Mbeumo and Mathues Cunha. Manchester United signed two Premier League proven talents, two of the best players from outside the Big Six. This was a strategy that Manchester United used to use a lot under Sir Alex Ferguson, of signing the best of the rest. And Mathues Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo have not disappointed so far. In fact, they're looking like really good business from Manchester United. When we look at Bryan Mbeumo, he's got 4 goal contributions already. He's coming with the goals and assists. But we look at the Sunderland game, how dangerous that right-hand side was of Mbeumo and Ahmad. We look at the game versus Liverpool, how dangerous Mbeumo was. He got fouled and he got up right away and, went and scored that goal. The finishing, the output is there. Selfless player, puts in a lot of crosses. And I think, with Sesko's heading and Mbeumo's crossing ability, we're going to see a lot more. He's got good stamina. He's got good work rate. He's got everything. And then we got a completely different player, Mathues Cunha. And it's nice to have two players with different profiles. And Mbeumo's someone that likes to get the ball, can run with it, can score, can assist, is a bit of creator. But Cunha's got a little bit more bite. And I think Cunha's got that Man United attitude. He's someone that backs himself. He's someone that's got a good kind of arrogance. He's someone versus Liverpool where he's winning the ball back and keeping the ball and drawing in fouls and is being a bit of a shithouse, which is exactly what a Man United player needs to be. He's got that Man United mentality. He's really good with ball to feet. He likes to create moments. He likes to win games. He likes to have a shot. He's got that. Whereas Mbeumo, he's got a bit of that pace. He's got a bit of, he can run in behind. He can link up. There's two brilliant players there in Cunha and Mbeumo. And the funny thing is, some people are trying to say that Cunha's a flop because he hasn't got any goals and assists, but Cunha's offering so much more than goals and assists. But I was always excited when Manchester United signed Cunha and Mbeumo. And the reason I was excited about it is because you don't need to go with these flashy names from abroad that everyone's hyping up because of the Euros. Nico Williams. I've said this for years, for a good year now. I watched Nico Williams a bit last season. I went, he's not better than, I don't think he's better than Garnacho, Nico Williams. And that might be an unpopular opinion. But Gittins, I said Gittins and Nico Williams, I don't think are any better than Garnacho. And people gave me stick for that. But look at Gittins at Chelsea. Look what Nico Williams has done every time he's come up against the Premier League opposition. He's good in the Euros, cool. Gittins had a good spell in the Champions League this time last year, cool. But I said, everyone's like, oh, we should go for Gittins or we should go for Nico Williams, these fancy names from abroad. And I said, no. Mbeumo, Cunha, Semenyo, proven players that know the league, that know the physicality. Because we've gone and signed players from abroad in the past and it's not worked. Under Fergie, the model was signing proven players. And when we first got linked to Mbeumo on June 2nd, this was my thoughts. Prime age, proven now. People think he's older than he is, but he's not. Proven. 27 goal contributions last season. Obviously, a lot of them were penalties, but very good goal contributions. One of the hardest working players in the league statistically. Perfect tactical fit at right 10. Amma can be right wing back. It's already helping us break down teams. That right-hand side is immense. The low Mount left-hand side wasn't great versus Liverpool, but that right-hand side was immense. That right-hand side versus Sunderland, obviously, Sunderland had to sub a player off because they were being killed by our right-hand side. Was insane. And I think we play better when we have a winger at wing back. I don't know how Ahmad feels about playing wing back. I actually sometimes prefer Ahmad further up. But we play better when we have a winger at wing back, which is why I've always said I'm open to signing Semenyo. Because I think Semenyo can go left 10 and left wing back. The way I look at it is you can have Semenyo and Cunha as your left 10 options, or play them together with Semenyo at left wing back. You've got Ahmad and Mbeumo as your right 10 options, or play them together with Ahmad at right wing back. You've got Sesko that can go in the middle. You've got Mount and Xerxes that can be sort of rotation options in there if need be if we're in Europe next season. We also sort the midfield bish bash bosh. But Man United went and signed proven players, which I thought was a really important thing. And I think Mbeumo's been great, and Mbeumo's getting the goal contributions, and Mbeumo's getting the credit he deserves. But I don't think Cunha's getting the credit he deserves. I've seen rivals say, oh, Cunha 007. First of all, he's been injured, and he's not started every game. Second of all, he's coming back from injury. But third of all, he's been good. I'd say in 90% of his games, I've been like, okay, Cunha was good. He might not have scored yet, but he's composed. He's got flair. He's got courage, as Sam said here. He's got the character. He was the best player in that second half versus Liverpool. What Cunha provided in the last 15 minutes versus Liverpool is one of the best 15-minute performances I've seen from a striker that's not scored a goal. I think that is almost, a goal would have been brilliant, but that is, without a goal, he's putting in an 8 out of 10 performance. You need a 10 out of 10 performance to get a goal as attacker, but he was putting in an 8, 9 out of 10 performance. He was phenomenal in that second half. He was so key. And people will just go in and got goals and assists, blah, blah, blah. But he was immense. Look at this. First for touches. First for successful dribbles. second for passes completed, first for possession won, second for duels won. Mathues Cunha was immense. And look, we saw it in the Arsenal game. He almost went on a good run and scored. We saw in the Fulham game, he was really good. And he almost scored. He was bright. The Burnley game was, I think, the best football we've played all season was a little bit of that Burnley game in the first half. And then when Cunha got subbed off injured, we were nowhere near as good. We lost something with him off the pitch. You know, Mount has been good in the left-hand role at certain aspects of the game, and he's maybe got a bit of a work rate and a bit of pressing that Cunha doesn't have. But Mount doesn't have Cunha's ability to just run through players, because you don't realise that when we went 2-1 up versus Liverpool, it was Cunha and Mbeumo on their own up there. It was Cunha and Mbeumo having taken 4 or 5 Liverpool players, just the two of them. There's got no one there to support them, and Cunha was running with it and still getting around 4 or 5 players holding the ball and drawing fouls high up the pitch to slow the game down and frustrate Liverpool. And Mbeumo is a good crosser, he's a selfless player, he's a good hard worker. But Cunha brought something unique and different as well. Also want to shout out Sesko. Obviously, I think Sesko's been so much better than he gets credit for. People are calling him a flop already. People are calling him awful already. Where's the service? He's not got the service. 2 games, 2 goals. Come off the bench versus Liverpool was absolutely fine. His all-round performance has been good outside his goals. You know, he's had the 2 goals, but his all-round performance is good. He has the same amount of open play goals in the league as Victor Gyökeres. And because he's gone to Man United and didn't score in his first 4 games, everyone thinks Sesko's a flop. But Sesko, you know, outside of the goals, there was things I've seen from Sesko, like the hold-up, the link-up, where Sesko did more in that Sunderland game than we'd seen Rasmus Højlund doing a good year at Man United. And don't get me wrong, Rasmus Højlund's doing well at Napoli. I knew he'd do well at Napoli. But if you watch the first half versus Brentford, or you watch the Sunderland game, Sesko provided more. Sesko provided more in those games than what we'd seen from Højlund in a year. Because he was holding the ball and he was passing the ball different. And this front three could change our season. I've always said this, if we don't get top 8, I think Amorim should be sacked. And people will say, but we finished 9th, it's progress from 15th. No, but I generally believe we've got a squad that should be finishing. I think we've got a squad good enough to finish 6th. I generally believe the squad is good enough to finish 6th. I think Sesko and Mbeumo Cunha is a sick front three. We've got Ahmad, we've got Bruno, we've got Mount, we've got Xerxes, we've got Maino, Yoro's min, Mazraoui's min, and even though they're not playing, Leach's to come back in. I think we have a phenomenal attack. I think we have some fantastic players, and I think we should be getting Europa League football next year. I think we're good enough to get that. Big questions over left wing back. I think Dorgu's probably better in back 4. There's big questions over the midfield pivot, and you know, Amorim, is he adaptable? Is Amorim the long-term fit? But I think the attack and the quality Man United have is insane. I mean, we're not even talking about Ahmad this season. Ahmad, in the Sunderland game and the Liverpool game, was the 2nd or 3rd best player on the pitch down that right-hand side at wing-back. Got the assist as well. He's been fantastic, Ahmad. He had a slow start to the season. People were writing him off. Sunderland, man of the match to me. Liverpool only got subbed off because he got a yellow card. Amorim said the only reason he subbed Ahmad off is because he got a yellow card. And Ahmad got a yellow card for a completely fair tackle. I had a Leeds fan saying the game is gone if that's a yellow card. And Leeds hate Man United. The yellow card that Amad Diallo got is ridiculous. So, you know, there's all these things. Bruno, does he suit playing deeper? No, in my opinion. But he's still a quality player. I thought he was pretty crap versus Liverpool. Still gets an assist, still creates the most chances in the Premier League because Bruno is a world-class player, even if he doesn't suit the system. Mason Mount, when fit, he offers something. I know a lot of people don't like Mason Mount, and look, he shouldn't be number 7, but he offers something when fit. What we need is an attacking-minded left wing-back, 2 quality midfielders, maybe a centre-back for depth. But I honestly think we have such a good team and such a good squad. I rate Sesko. I rate Xerxes, we aren't even seeing. I think Cunha's fantastic. I think Mbeumo's fantastic. I think Lamont, the goalkeeper, I think this could be our best summer window post Sir Alex. And I know I'm saying this earlier, I know that sounds reactionary, you know, but I'm looking at some of our best signings post Sir Alex. Bruno obviously comes to mind. I think Varane, if he could stay fit, would have been, you know, because I look at Varane and Leach when they were together on the 10. We came 3rd, we won the Carabao. Then they kept getting injured. They came back for the FA Cup final, we won that. I think Varane's got to be one of our best signings. Bruno's one of our best signings. But I think as a window, you know, I don't think last season was that bad. I thought Euro was Fulham or something. I think Mazraoui's good business. I think Delict's good business. You know, Agati is the only one big question marks around. I think Xerxes is just sort of an unfair situation about the Europa League. But I think this window could be our best. I think Cunha and Mbeumo are going to be hit. I think Sesko's going to be hit. And I think Lamont is going to be a hit. I know it's early days, but I like it. I like what I'm seeing. Thank you for watching. Bye.